Today we're going to talk about timing the N20 engine. But first, Zion wants to go into his comfortable spot in my E46. Go ahead, Z. Go ahead. Up you go. All right. Got your spot? You happy? All right, excellent. All right, so today I'm going to talk about timing the N20 N26 engine, which I have right here. I'm going to show you timing tools, a great timing kit to get, the one I would recommend and why. And I'm going to bring you over there in just a second. Let's check out this awesome kit that I got. Okay, so this is a DPT tool, and it's a timing and flywheel fuel injector complete timing kit for the N20 and N26. Retail value is about $159 for this bad boy. Everything's laid out very nicely. Again, they did not give me any promo. This is just the one that I found that I thought looked awesome. It's going to have more than enough to do everything we want for this engine. So they do give you a little slide hammer injector removal tool. So you can actually hook that up to your injector and then tap them out. I thought that was actually a pretty cool tool. They give us the timing tool that we need for going into the flex plate to lock at TDC. And what's nice is that all of these have a little spot where they go. This tool here, this is for your chain tensioner. This is going to pre-tension the chain when we're resetting timing. Now this would be if we had the VANOS units off, we will need to use this, preset the chain tension. However, a lot of times there's a trick, and I can show you the trick. And you don't need that tool necessarily, but it's nice that they have it. All right, let's come over here. This is a very important tool here. I will show you on the engine. This, with the teeth right here, go into the flex plate, and this is what you're gonna need to tighten the central bolt. You do not use this part here to hold the engine when you're tightening the central bolt. You will damage this. Also, I will mention it again, if you use this to hold the engine, you will bend this and it will get stuck in the housing of the engine, and you will have to rip the transmission out to get this out and cut it off on the back. Ask me how I know, because I have a tech that did it. Not me personally, but I had to help him get it off. We had to pull the tranny out without taking the torque converter off. Bad news. All right, they give you this little guy here and this piece here. This has to do with the oil pump drive, which maybe we'll get into at a future video. And then this is the main timing tools right here. And that's going to go over the camshafts. And then this one you need for the VANOS units. When we set the VANOS up, this is also the timing. So this sets the camshaft position, and then this tool will set the VANOS units. And they have these little nubs where they're supposed to sit, and then you tighten them down. So all these great tools all in one kit. Stop talking, let's go play on the actual engine. All right, I'm back here at the flex plate. What's the difference between a flex plate and a flywheel? Flywheel is on a manual transmission, a flex plate is on an automatic transmission. You probably knew that though. All right, so this tool right here actually would go in underneath the car, and it will slide into the flex plate and hold it. And this slides so you can get a deeper catch. And basically what it's doing, and obviously because this is out, I can't use it to hold the engine, but it basically goes right into the teeth of the flex plate like that. Now that's going to keep everything locked. This is where, if you need to tighten the central bolt, which has a lot of torque and torque angle, you would need this, or else you will damage the other tools. So this is a very important tool that comes in that kit. Hey Mario, I'm still driving my N20 powered wheelbarrow. Thank you for that comment, and man, that really cracked me up. Everyone out there, I just want to say, please help me grow my channel. Please like, subscribe, send this to your friends, put it on Facebook. I could definitely use the help to grow my channel and be able to provide better, more videos, maybe get an actual car here to do live work on. So I need your help. Thank you very much. All right, to turn the crankshaft central bolt, you need a large extension with a 22. I'm using the Easy Red Extendable Ratchet, one of my favorite tools. So if you're interested in that, I'll put that in the description box. And this really does a great job turning the engine over, because you get all that great extension And obviously you can make it smaller, which is, again, one of my favorite tools right there. All right, let's just say valve cover is already off, and I'll have a description. I'll have a link to the valve cover right over here. But we need to set the car up in top dead center. So how do we do that? Could pull a spark plug out and put a zip tie in it and turn the engine over till it's at top dead center. There's also a trick that we can use looking at the camshafts themselves. And we want to look for a barcode to come up on both camshafts. And that should be when you start approaching top dead center on the camshaft. So let me rotate the engine and I'll show you the barcode. All right, there's the barcode right there. As we're approaching top dead center, this barcode's going to come up. The intake one is a little bit smaller right there. So that's how you know when you're approaching TDC. Just to be sure, I'm also going to pull a spark plug out and I'll show you another tip. I'm using the AST 1412. Yep, 1412. It is a multi-point spark plug. Zip that out, and spark plug looks okay. And actually, it'll be easier to turn the engine over if you take all the spark plugs out, but right now I'm just going to take cylinder number 1 out. Now some people put a screwdriver in here. I don't recommend any sharp tools, so you can damage the piston if something gets jammed. I just put a zip tie. I usually put a zip tie, and then I can watch, and especially if the injector well was here, I can watch that zip tie raise, so I know I'm approaching top dead center. And having the camshaft with the barcode facing up, that means I'm at the correct firing order for checking my timing. So here is a difference. On the N52, the timing hole for the pin is on the driver's side, but on the N20 N26 it's actually on the passenger side. So we got to go down past the water pump and into this spot right here, which is tucked into the back of the engine. There's a plug. We have to take that plug out. A lot of times you know if your engine's a virgin if the plug is still in place. Most technicians don't put this back after they've taken it out. You just use a hook to pull that out and the plug is removed, and now that's the hole we use to set our timing. Alright, so our timing tool that we're going to use, the round side with the flat edge here, and then this is the handle. So it goes this way right here, goes into the hole, and you can hear it's hitting up against the flex plate. Now you don't want to, you want to approach TDC slowly and then have this go into the hole. You don't want to already be there and go past it. You don't want to turn your engine counterclockwise. It's not good for it. So I'm going to bring those barcodes slowly up, and at the same time I'm going to put pressure on my pin and push it into the locking hole for TDC. Alright, so gonna go slow, a little bit of pressure, a little bit more, and I'm in. That's it right there. So you know you're in when you can't rotate the engine anymore, and you get to see what it actually looks like on the flex plate. So here it is right here. Here's our timing hole in our flex plate. And if we take a look at the flex plate on this one, there isn't really any other spot that it can go into. On the N52, there's multiple holes, and you can actually be in the wrong one, so you have to make sure that you're in the right hole in an N52. I've had a lot of technicians time N52s incorrectly. So looking at your VANOS units, if I come along here, I should have my barcodes facing upwards. And that is correct on both of these cams. Alright, so now I can start putting the timing jig on. Here's a quick tip if you're struggling. Use a borescope. This is the OIWAC one. That is an excellent price. And you can use that if you're having trouble finding that location or something seems odd. You can actually check using your borescope to try to find TDC in the right hole. So it's great to have a borescope on hand for that reason. Oh yeah, I have to mention this too. Take a look at this. So here's the water pump, and what do I see in my connector housing? There's a little bit of coolant in there. That's really common when doing an engine repair to get some coolant just in this connector because of the angle it is. I've seen technicians go ahead and plug this in. This creates a little ecosystem inside of the connector and it corrodes like crazy. So make sure to clean out this plug if you're doing any repairs and you have this plug open, replacing an engine, whatever. Make sure that you clean the pins of the coolant pump and on the engine harness, or you'll have a very bad day. At least it'll be a bad day when the car returns and it needs a harness or a pin replacement and a new water pump. All right, you're going to need a 5mm Allen to loosen these. Do like the SHM 400 tool set, one of my go-to tools. So first thing you want to do on this timing kit is we're going to take these off here. You don't want to install this already built. So we're going to take the cam lock here and the cam lock here off, and then just put the main jig on. All right, I have my both cam locks off, and here's my main jig. Let's go put this on the engine. One quick additional step is we do have this oil channel here that helps to oil the camshaft. We have to take this off. So there's a little 11mm here, and this just pops out of its little holder, like so. So we have to get that out of the way. So the jig that we're going to use for timing, this part here with the flat low section, and see this one doesn't have the additional piece on it. This goes on the exhaust side and the other one on the intake side. Then we have the two bolts from the kit. We have a short one that we line up here and the long one for the other side, and just gently snug these down using a 5mm Allen. Alright, I switched over to the intake side, and then we need our cam lock, which slides into a slot right on the cam, and you can see how that fits right there. Now we have to put the exhaust side on. Alright, so there's more tips that you need to know when doing this. So here is the exhaust one, right? So I go ahead and put it in place, and it doesn't line up. Okay, so your original thought is, alright, the timing is off. Well, not necessarily. There is some slack, especially in the VANOS unit itself and in the chain a little bit. So if you take an adjustable wrench, and it's both intake and exhaust, where you can go here and just manipulate the camshaft a little bit either way, and you can get the timing to line up. Okay, we're going to put these 5mm Allens in. Start them both by hand. So even with moving the camshaft like I had shown you, there is a little bit of offness to this one still. So the timing is ever so slightly off, because I can get these started, but I can't get these started back here. So if that's the case, your timing is not 100%. The vehicle probably would not notice this, quite honestly, and we'll check the timing of the VANOS units, obviously, because you need a jig. But to fix this, we would have to loosen up the central valves. So unlike the N52 and N51 engine, where these are one-time use bolts that hold the VANOS units, and by the way, there is an intake and exhaust. You cannot swap these. The VANOS units can only go intake and exhaust. If you put it on backwards, I've seen it, you'll get some weird problems and some timing faults. But on the N20 N26, these valves are also the central bolt, and they are reusable. There's a torque spec and a torque angle that you need. But we're checking timing today, so we have to use this additional tool right here to check our timing. Now we know that this is close right here, and I would want to fix this, and I will do that on the next video. We will actually do a complete timing, and we'll correct this error. But this is the other tool that you're going to need. There are spots where that's going to also go on, and they actually go into the holes on the VANOS units. And if they don't line up, again, that also means that your timing is off. So you can see right here, here's these nubs, and there's a hole there and a hole there. So for this particular engine, right, I can get that one in there, and I cannot get this one in. It is really close, but the timing is slightly off. And again, the vehicle probably would not even notice that there was a timing issue on this, right? I can't turn the engine either way, right? Because I'm locked in with that TDC, and I still can't put these on, which means my timing is actually slightly off on this engine. But that is how it's done. That is the full steps for, let me move this. That is the full steps for checking timing. So you have to put your jig on, you have to put the cam locks on, put these on, and then this is your final step to check your timing. And what's awesome about this engine, it's unlike the M54 where you have all of these sprockets and shims that you have to mess with. This is all there is to it. So you have the VANOS unit, it's infinitely adjustable within its range. So it doesn't matter if I take this out, turn it 90 degrees, 25 degrees, and put it back on, it doesn't matter. It can figure it out using the sensors and the pickup wheels. So as long as the engine is timed at top dead center, it doesn't matter where I put my VANOS units, except that they have to be inside and out, in and out, ein and aus, right? And then this is what I use to set my timing. Then the camshaft position sensors, along with the pickup wheels right here, are what actually to tell the engine computer where TDC is and what the position of the timing is, so it can then adjust the VANOS units accordingly. So next week, we're gonna pull the VANOS units all the way out, and then we will put them back in, and I will talk to you about tightening, torque, and everything. Let's just say you had to replace these. All right, so that's it for today. I hope everyone found this useful. Please like, share, and help me grow my channel. Greatly appreciated. And we will continue with replacement of the VANOS units and pulling out the central valves next week. All right, I'll see you guys later.